What's good, everybody? I'm Miles, just in the Real Talk of Miles Johnson. Today's episode, I got my guy, Steezy A. Smith. Now, if you don't know who Steezy A. Smith is, you do know now. Now, Steezy A. Smith, he is an aspiring sports reporter slash broadcaster in the Seattle area. I'm happy to have him on. I've known him through Sports Me. He's had some great battles, some great takes. I mean, he has grown his YouTube channel for over like 1,000 followers in less than a year. This guy knows his stuff. I'm glad to have him on here. Well, what's up, bro?
Hey, my brother MJ Miles, thank you for having me on, bro. It's truly a pleasure. Man, I feel like this is a little overdue, you know what I'm saying? But at least we on it.
Great, man. Yes. So in this episode, we're gonna talk about Tom Brady. We're gonna talk about Russell Wilson and your Seahawks, and then we'll get into Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. So let's first start off with Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. So actually, earlier today, I believe the Bears, they signed Andy Dalton. I saw that on the Dan Patrick show that the Bears offered 3 first-round picks, I believe a third, and then 2 starters. But the Seahawks ended up declining that. So do you think that the relationship between the Seahawks and Russell Wilson can is the relationship like amended? Do you think that it can be reconciled? What do you make of their relationship right now?
Right now, bro, it's definitely a little rocky. You know what I'm saying? They've been married together for about 9-10 years now. And so just like with all relationships, with all healthy relationships, there's gonna be problems, there's gonna be good times, there's gonna be bad times. And I believe right now, this is definitely the bad time of the whole relationship. But I definitely feel like it could be fixed. I mean, as everybody in the media talks about, Pete Carroll is a very likable person. Everyone loves Pete Carroll, especially the players. He's a player's coach. And so with that being said, he can get across to any player, or most players. I feel like all players respect him, look up to him, and they look at him in a way in which other head coaches around the league, the same really can't be said. And so with Pete Carroll, he's catered to Russell Wilson before. And I truly believe from the bottom of my heart, and this isn't even the Seahawks fan in me speaking, I just truly believe from the outside looking in, if I was on the outside looking in, I feel like, why not cater to Russ yet again? I mean, look, as was reported earlier today, the Seahawks traded for Gabe Jackson from the Las Vegas Raiders. He's been one of the better guards in all the NFL. And so I like that move. We brought in tight end Gerald Everett from the LA Rams. He knows Shane Waldron's system. And so right now the relationship isn't fixed. I don't see it being fixed anytime soon, but that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. I feel like not only are we going to have to make the right moves in free agency and the draft, we also have to win. The Seahawks haven't been past the divisional round since 2014. The Jacksonville Jaguars have more playoff wins than the Seahawks in 2017. And so on top of just making moves this offseason, Seattle got to start winning some football games beyond just making the playoffs and getting bounced early. I mean, I'm going to just call it what it is. 1-4 since 2017. That got to change too. But for right now, like I said, relationship is rocky, but it's going to be fixed, and it's going to take some time for it to be fully fixed.
Yeah, when I saw that there was like rumors circling around, I honestly thought that it was that that relationship was over. But I heard somewhere it's kind of like it's kind of like a girlfriend. Like she doesn't feel appreciated in how she maybe not be totally done, but she wants to go out. But she wants to go on some dates. She wants to maybe go on like a little shopping spree. But she wants something to show for her boyfriend, whoever, to show their appreciation for her. And that's the same way I feel like the situation is between Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. I just feel like he wants the front office to at least just show that that they want to take care of him and all that. I believe over the last 7 seasons, or at least or over like Russell Wilson's entire career, it's like an average of like 43.6 sacks per season.
Exactly.
Like most ever. So he has every right to feel how he's feeling. But I do think definitely like with them turning down that offer from the Bears, it shows that the Seahawks are committed to Russell Wilson. And I believe that relationship that Russell Wilson will ultimately stay committed to them. So I guess we'll see what happens this offseason with them making moves and all that. But definitely like what I seen today with them turn down that massive offer, I feel like that relationship can definitely be reconciled in the future. We'll get into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now they have made some. They have basically like got like their whole entire like team back. But pretty much almost. They re-signed Gronk. They brought out
Mhm.
they brought back Shaq Barrett. And they're looking to re-sign other guys too. So do you think that the Buccaneers are the favorite, or do you think that or would you have them right now as as the favorite to repeat as champs?
Bro, the last time that a team won two straight Super Bowls, Tom Brady was on those teams, the New England Patriots of 2003 and 2004. And this coming season, I truly believe that Tom Brady will yet again, maybe not necessarily guide the Buccaneers to another Super Bowl title, but I could very well see the Buccaneers being in the Super Bowl yet again. So, yes, I believe that they should be favorites heading into the season. Because, yes, like you hit on all the points. They brought back Shaquille Barrett, 4 years, 72 million. Gronkowski, 1 year, 10 million. They haven't re-signed AB or what's it called, Lenny,
Leonard
or
Fournette.
even Leonard Fournette, right? And Dominic Sue. They haven't re-signed those guys, but their franchise tag Chris Godwin. Like I said, Gronk re-signed, Shaquille Barrett, Levante David, 2 years, 25.5 million. And so they got their core pieces back, or they're all coming back for the most part. And so you combine that with the fact that Tom Brady, even though he's the same age as my pops, my dad at 43, he still has yet to really show any signs of decline. Throwing for 40 touchdowns and 30 picks last year and to the Super Bowl. But not only did he win the Super Bowl, he went through a path that included the Washington football team and their ferocious defense, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Pat Mahomes. And so for him to do that, I mean, I feel like he's far from washed. He's still in his prime. Crazy as that is to say at age 43. But with all that being said, Buccaneers should most definitely be favorites heading into next season. They're defending champs. They brought back most of their guys. They have a top 5 offense. In terms of talent, they have a top 5 defense. Bruce Arians is one of the best coaches in all of football. And yeah, obviously teams are going to get better. We're looking at the Rams, with Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers. We know they're going to be threats. If the Seahawks and Russell Wilson can get it together and get it fixed heading into the season, we know we're always going to be they're always going to be a threat. We also believe in the Arizona Cardinals. I look at the Arizona Cardinals as a dark horse. So there's going to be plenty of threats in the NFC, but like I said earlier, Tampa Bay, they're the defending champions for a reason, and they're going to be highly motivated going into year 2.
Yeah, I mean, they're my favorites as well. All season. I mean, matter of fact, when the season first started, they were my favorites back in like September. With all the additions that they made, and I just don't see I don't see somebody that could really challenge them. I feel like every team has a flaw. That whether it's the Packers, whether it's the Seahawks. I mean, we have some great teams in the NFC, but I don't really see a team that's really on their level. And with Tom Brady, I mean, at his age, the fact that he still has like the desire to want to win, to want to get Super Bowls at his age. I mean, most guys, if they get 2 Super Bowls, 3, they're cool. He's trying to catch
Right.
8, 9, maybe 10. I don't know, but he's trying to play till I guess his legs fall off or whatever. But he's definitely the GOAT. And he just keeps coming. They keep coming. Now we're going to segue into Dak Prescott. Last week, Dak Prescott, he got a massive contract, 4 years, $160 million. I believe it was the most guaranteed contract in NFL history. I believe it was like $123 million guaranteed. I mean,
126.
it was so it was a big contract. And so like, what do you think? Matter of fact, do you think the Cowboys did a good job in signing Dak long term, or did they overpay him, or what are your thoughts on that deal?
It's hard to call it an overpay because, when it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL, they just get paid based off of the market. The market dictates how much they get paid. And so who knows, maybe another team in free agency would have offered him more than the contract that he had gotten from the Dallas Cowboys. So it's not really, or I can't really say that he's overpaid. But with that being said, he's definitely, I feel like this had to have been done. The Cowboys, they put themselves in this situation. They could have signed him to a contract extension a couple of years ago. You know, instead of applying the franchise tag and instead of playing hot potato like they had been or whatever they've been playing with their franchise quarterback, the quarterback of America's football team, the Dallas Cowboys, I don't know why they were doing what they were doing, but they're the ones who put themselves in this position. So you can't really blame anyone or look at anyone but the organization, and namely you, Jerry Jones. I'm looking at you, Jerry Jones. This is all on you. I mean, I'm not trying to call him out or nothing. He's done his thing in Dallas, but to do this to your franchise quarterback, I mean, for me, that's the ultimate sign of disrespect. But at the end of the day, I mean, Dak got paid, but I feel like while they're going to contend for NFC least titles, they're not going to be contending for any Super Bowls anytime soon. I mean, you look at that defense is awful. I mean, my goodness. And then yeah, okay, look, there's weapons on offense. Zeke, he might not be past his prime like everyone's saying. I mean, when he was playing with Dak Prescott last year, when he was in the lineup, when they were in the lineup together, he was doing his Dougie. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's only going to get better. So they got weapons on offense, but their offensive line is no longer the elite unit that it once was. Injuries have taken their toll. Age, some of the guys are getting up there in age. And so I'm not sure if I believe in the offensive line, but if Dak Prescott can make that leap into being a top 5 quarterback, then yeah, maybe potentially he can compensate for some of the areas that the Cowboys lack in, and namely and specifically defense. And then maybe deteriorating offensive line play later on. But as of right now, I don't see him as a top 5 quarterback. And so to be the second highest paid player in all of NFL history, I mean, he's going to have a lot to live up to and to a lot of expectations that he's going to have to follow. But I mean, I'm not truly sold on him fulfilling those expectations, but he did get paid. And so, I'm happy for him. It's been a long time coming. It's well overdue. But this definitely doesn't make the Cowboys Super Bowl contenders anytime soon.
Yeah, I would. Well, real like going off of what you said about Jerry Jones, I blame Jerry Jones because he could have signed Dak 2 years ago when it was like $30 million for a quarterback. Wasn't what it is now, but they wanted to wait and wait and wait, and now the price went up. And like you said, It's all about the market. So remember, like a couple of years ago, Jimmy Garoppolo was the highest paid. And then like 3 years ago, Kirk Cousins was like one of like the top ones. So like every year, it's not necessarily that the highest paid quarterback or like one of the some of the highest paid quarterbacks aren't necessarily the best quarterbacks in the league. So it's all about the market. And I blame Jerry Jones for not signing Dak 2 years ago when he signed Zeke, Amari Cooper. I mean, if you see how Zeke is playing now, I don't know if you signed to that contract now, right? So so I feel like you could have signed, I feel like you could have took care of Dak earlier, and then you would have been in a better spot now. Now in terms of the NFC, in terms of them being contenders in the NFC or making a Super Bowl run, I mean they might get out the NFC East, like you said, that the NFC least. I mean, they don't really got nobody there, so they should make it at least win that division. But in terms of making it to a Super Bowl or anything after that, they might be able to make a deep playoff run if they draft well. All of that, we'll see if Dan Quinn is if he's a good defensive coordinator. We'll see about that because they fired Mike Nolan, so we'll see about that. But I just don't see the Cowboys really doing much. And the Cowboys, they always do Cowboys things. They let their fans down right when they get their hopes up at the highest. So as the Cowboys, the most I see them doing is making it out the NFC least.
Exactly, 100%. I mean, yeah, maybe their ceiling is the divisional round right now, but until they improve that defense, really just that defense, I mean, can't really expect much more of anything.
But bro, I appreciate you for coming on here, man. I know we had some technical difficulties last time, but I appreciate you for coming on. I had to put on a suit to try to try and be as fresh as you a little bit. I don't know, I couldn't get out dressed on my own show. But man, I appreciate you. I'm gonna have all the links to your to your Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff in the description down below. And man, I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Hey, my brother, thank you. Pleasure's all mine. I can't wait to have you on my show. I'm getting my webcam finally set up, and so I'm going to start live streaming. I'm going to have an NBA show. I'm going to have a Seahawks show. I'm going to have a baseball show. And so, I'm looking at candidates right now to kind of fill in for panelists or for, guest appearances and stuff like that. And you definitely on those lists, bro. I'm gonna have you on my show too. Believe that. And to everybody out there, man, be sure to show my managers some love. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment, share this video with your family, your friends, your coworkers, your mom, your dog, everybody, anybody. Get this out there, man. Run this up for us. And then once you guys do that, once you follow him on all socials, at Steezy A. Smith, if you didn't already know,
In the description down
STUEZY.
below.
Yes, sir. Description down below if y'all didn't already know. Once again, like I said, it's been a pleasure, bro. And then be sure to holler at me, you guys, for whoever's tuned in. Hit me with a DM, man. Hit me with a DM on social media. Before you even do that, like I said, follow my guy.